Hello and welcome to today's Curiosity Show.
If you think the background today looks a little unusual, that's not surprising. We're actually at the second busiest port in the world. Thousands of ships come here every year, and hundreds of thousands of visitors come to this city to see the amazing sights that it has to offer.
Can you guess where we are? Well, keep watching and we'll tell you. And we'll also show you some of the fascinating things that people normally have to come here to see.
It's one of the interesting places you can visit in Singapore, but it's not in the city of Singapore itself. To reach this place, you have to take a journey across the harbour.
The journey takes about an hour. And we use a traditional form of Chinese transport, the bump boat.
After an hour you come across an island, and it's surprisingly well populated.
Hundreds of Malay people live here, and many of them have the same profession. The number of boats moored outside the houses gives a hint as to what that profession might be.
The modern city of Singapore stands where an ancient fishing village once stood. But the city is now so developed that there's very little large-scale fishing carried out there, except in fish farms.
But on the nearby island of Pulau Seking, there's a Malay fishing village where fishing is still carried out pretty much the same way that it has been for hundreds of years.
In fact, the fishermen and their families live so close to the sea that their houses are up on stilts and the tides come and go underneath the rooms they live in.
And although the island is very barren, it still supports about 300 people. They survive because their livelihood comes from the sea.
As you might expect in a fishing village, the houses face the sea. The island provides the backyards, and here there are no roads, no cars, there's no electricity, and there's no running water.
Many of the people on the island of Pulau Seking are interested in things they can collect from the sea, such as pieces of coral. These are being bleached by the sun, and they'll be sold later as ornaments.
Sometimes the fishing may be poor, or the weather may be a bit rough for it, so other things are collected. And coming as they do straight from the sea bottom, they're in first-class condition. Shells are collected as ornaments, or they may be made into things like necklaces. And other creatures too can be prepared for display. Some of the seashells collected here are very highly prized by collectors.
Over the years, the village of Pulau Seking has changed very little. This photograph taken 30 years ago shows that the houses, the boats, the nets and jetty were very much the same then as they are today.
Without electricity, you have to make do. This is a baby's hammock, and with no air conditioning, it's hung in front of the window, and there's no glass in the window, so the breeze cools the baby.
One of the most popular pastimes in this village is racing model boats. These boats are based on the traditional Malay fishing boats all around the village.
There is a shop here, but many people keep their own animals, goats for milk and poultry for eggs.
Pulau Seking, a fascinating Malay fishing village in Singapore.